Hi everyone and welcome to the final mark making session today. They've been running for quite a few weeks on Zoom, so I'm really excited to get the final one open. I'm just going to let Fiona in and then we're going to get started. Hi Fiona.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I can't believe this is the final session as well.
I know.
Running since like the end of February, so
It's
um,
quite a thing when something that's been in your diary for so long just goes, isn't it? Yeah.
I've been busy with the engagement project with the Henry Moore Gallery,
Mm-hmm.
sculpture one. So I've been busy just kind of sorting things for that and doing writing and proposals for it. So yeah,
Good one.
well, so
Yeah.
you said that you've got a sculpture too, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and I'm just about to email you images of them, and well, it's not them. It's just the whole thing all put together. So I'm going to email that to you right now. Should have done that this morning.
I've got good like responses from it as well. You know, I sent off about 12 or 13 packs. So
Mm-hmm.
about 5 or 6 people have got back to me. So that's handy really because I thought with it being a project that I'm going to open up to anyone in the gallery, I thought, oh, I'll test it out myself and I'll kind of exercise the mail art aspect of the project and send it to people. So it was
Mm-hmm.
nice to get some photos and responses back as well, definitely.
Yeah. Did you want me to send it to you?
Yes, please. Yeah, maybe some photos. If you
Just
want,
photos?
it depends how big it is. Um,
Well, it's boot box size, and the kind of the like I sent the photos to you now, and what I did was I kind of created some wee pieces with the cardboard that you sent, and then I added some cubes that I had made out of from magazines, like origami kind of cubes that I'd made from recycled magazines, and then I'd added just a kind of a lid, a big golden lid, and kind of used that as a kind of like representation of the sun. So everything's kind of moving and mobile, and I'd painted some of the pieces and some of the bits. So it's all a bit that kind of just like when I was little, right? The sculpture thing, that notion of the sculptures being mobile really kind of like resonated, because when I was little, I used to get like whenever I got a new pair of shoes, the box was the thing that I loved the most about it. And I would always use the box as a kind of a play tool, like for weeks and weeks after I'd had my new shoes. And I'd put all sorts of little things in it. And I would have just like bits of stick and twigs and just things folded up, and I would make them into like wee toys, and I would make the whole thing like a little house. I would carry the box around with me, and it just kind of reminded me of that. I was like put it all together, a notion of living in a cardboard box of you're a world in a box. That kind of just kind of took me. So yeah, it was good. It was nice, interesting, but it's not really it's postable, but when he gets there, all it's going to be is like bits of cardboard. So the photographs kind of give a sense of the play and the space and the mobility of it.
oh,
So
brilliant. Thank you very much. After the session, I'll definitely have a look at them.
yeah.
Thank you very much. What things have you got with you today then, marketing wise?
So I have a whole nasty lime with me today. Last time I tried a lime cut up and it didn't work. But remember, my golf ball worked quite well last time. So I decided that I would try the same thing with the lime. I've got this lovely plastic soap dish, which has got ridges on this side and kind of like holes on this side. I think I'm going to pull out my inks today and see if I can't play a little differently with my inks rather than my acrylics, because you said bring different materials. What have you got with you today?
Today I've got 4 nail brushes. So I've just worked on accumulating different things that I know I've worked in the past. So I've got 2 balls on string. I've got another one without string. I've got some more brushes as well here that I haven't used in a while. I've got some different kind of types of combs, so like an afro comb and some different things here. Oh, my mum's just come in.
Hi, Mum.
I've got all my pastry cutters again. I've got the golf ball that I know works. The golf ball that I know works. I've got the whisk and I've got some cutlery and some different like toothbrushes that have
a lot of practice today.
They haven't worked well in the past, so I'm going to revisit them and see if I can adapt a new approach.
I didn't get on with the toothbrushes either, but maybe if you've got more of them, you can use them in tandem in some fashion.
I mean, I've got a whole box of mark making tools. I've got loads of like kitchen kind of things, but obviously it's quite interesting that they're used in a different way. You know, in everyday objects and then using them in what would appear a kind of a random thing to do. So yeah, I've just got more of what I know works. And I'm gonna. Oh, I've got these plastic cups as well. Actually, the ones that make some really cool rings.
Yes, IKEA cups.
IKEA cups. And then surface-wise, I've got the newsprint. I've got the brown paper and the bubble wrap. This is actually new as well because I ran out before. And then I've got some envelopes, and I know last time, if you can see on the back wall here, I kind of put different shapes out of it and then taped it together and then kind of reworked into it. So I might do a bit more of that, I think.
I've also got some I've also got some envelopes that I'm going to put together. I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago and I kept the cards for that very process. So I kept the envelopes for that process anyway.
And I've also got an extra palette of paint as well. I've got 3 palettes today.
Ooh!
3 palettes of paint. And I ordered some new paints as well last week. So I've got some more ready mix paints that I can use.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Have you got on to ordering your paints yet? I know you were on about ready.
Oh, you know. What I did have an art thing come through though. I ordered something online. God, I can't even remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was an ink and a pen and ink set. Chinese writing.
I'm just using this comb to make some different kind of line forms on the surface. So I'm just gonna dip it in as my second colour, which is yellow, and then just make some really cool lines on this material. Now at the moment I'm using newsprint. Now if I hold this up to show you, it just made some really cool lines. And I've used like different colours as well.
What was that?
I've just worked with my comb and
your comb, gotcha. I like that.
I like that. I'm thinking of adding a blue as well because I do like the 3 primary colours together. So I'm adding blue to it. But
You're always adding your primary colours, aren't you?
There we are. Are you working on the inks then first, Fiona?
Yeah. So what I've actually got as well, I have forgotten about this. I can't place my envelopes. It's a sheet of paper that I made up with the background already,
Wow.
using just like leftover colours from something that I'd been doing, and I just used my scrapey thing to put it all on. So I'm going to use this background. I'm going to put inks on it.
Yeah, I really like that.
I always find inks very messy. I might actually cover myself up a bit.
I do quite like this blue. I'm going to use a light blue as well, I think. There we are. I'll just hold up what I've done. Just something simple.
That's nice. I like that. I like the lines in there.
I quite
Something
like,
quite rhythmic about the way that you're doing it as well.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I quite like doing little experiments as well. So maybe focusing on just one tool, one mark making tool, and then a different size surface, and just experimenting with that one thing, in different ways. That is again something that you could try maybe. It looks really effective as well, you know.
I quite like repetitive patterns as well. I'm really attracted to that. So where's my line? Where is my line? Oh, here we go. There's my line.
Oh, sorry, I had to cancel before as well. I actually went to my nan's on that day with it being her birthday.
Oh, nice.
So I went over there for the day.
Oh, this is too messy. I'm going to try something else. I've got a flat box here that I'm going to put this into in order to contain the mess a little bit. It's an amazing box of chocolates that my daughter passed on to us. Ooh, ooh. It's not manageable.
There we are. What I've done for this one is I've just covered the whole piece, following the same kind of pattern using the comb.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
I like to focus on just 3 colours in one object.
They're quite dripping as well, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do quite like it actually.
I love that.
Right.
You should let them.
Right. Might try some brown paper as well. Right, I quite like this nail brush as well because it's a lot wider than you usually get as well.
Mm-hmm. It is wider, isn't it?
I've got four of those. I do quite like the pastry cutters as well. You know, I've got a set selection of objects that I always seem to go back to because I know that they always work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering what else I could use in the future as well. What other mark making things I can possibly go for.
Do you find yourself when you're in the moment with it, just like suddenly going, everything that you see, I could do something with that. I could bring that in. Yeah.
No, I'll have a set amount of kind of materials, objects, surfaces, and then it's just a case of what shall I use next? And then it's not really planned from then on, you know, very improvised, which I quite like, very experimental.
I'm going to get the nail brush. We need a new nail brush anyway. Some of these inks my dad gave me.
Oh, wow.
There's an orange here that I wouldn't usually think of using, which I've just added in.
The last time when we came on, you were using your dad's works as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that go? I can't remember if I asked you before.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with some of the results actually. I think I might have sent some to you, I'm not sure now. But yeah, no, I was really quite pleased with the results. It's an ongoing thing. Actually, that's brilliant. So I've got an acrylic background which I showed you, and I've put ink onto it, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it from here, but I've used the brush, the nail brush, to kind of scrumble off some of the ink, and it's bringing the blue back through from underneath the green. Oh, I love that.
Have you showed your dad some of the works that you've made then with his, or?
No, not yet. I'm going down to Morpeth with my dad next week, so we're going to spend quite a lot of time with each other, and I'm planning on explaining a little bit about what I'm doing with some of his works. I do think he'll be all right with it. I don't think he'll. Oh, maybe I'm being a bit patronizing. I don't know that he'll understand what I'm doing, and yeah. My dad's, I think I've said this to you before, my dad's quite a literal painter and likes things to look like what they're supposed to look like.
That's interesting. Different kind of art styles, you know. Maybe you could explain a bit more about it, you know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, and I've just picked up this white ink, and I've got some black paper under here. I picked up at one of those kind of pound shop places.
Oh yeah.
And it's not really, I think it's maybe supposed to be a photo album, perhaps, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's got lots of black paper in it, and I'm gonna see what this white ink will do. I need to pour some out now. I'm just pouring it So you had quite a good response with people. Have other people done the project, your sculpture project?
Yeah, I sent it to you, to Liz, a few people on my course,
Mm-hmm.
and then a few people that have done my community workshops as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just made sure first, I asked people and said, would you like to join in? Just because all the sheets and everything were printed at uni, and they did cost quite a bit to print them. So I thought I'd make sure, I got people that
People that were interested, yeah.
want to do them or had an idea that they'd want to do them.
Mhm.
But yeah, some of the responses that I got back were really, really different, really interesting. A lot of people kind of made mini worlds. A lot of people added additional materials, like plastics and different things.
Mhm.
Someone actually added toy cars as well and made like a city using
Mhm.
cardboard as well. So that was quite interesting, and it's also interesting to think about the scale as well, because obviously I haven't seen these works in person, so
Mhm.
really determine how big they are in relation to each other, which is quite interesting, I think.
Yeah. And the kind of scales that people want to work on,
Yeah, definitely.
or are able to work on, actually, because it is about where do you. I'm now just I created a little white speckled background with the nail brush, and I'm dropping yellow onto it.
At the moment, I've just done some more envelope experiments with two different colours.
You're definitely into the repeating lines today, aren't you?
I do quite like it. I'm going to move on to the tennis.
All right. Okay.
I like it.
I like it. I like it. Ooh, it's dripping, it's dripping, it's dripping.
Right, I'm going to get my tennis balls out, I think. See what I can do with those.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna show you this. This seems to have worked really well. Um, I've just focused on blue and yellow.
Mhm.
Hold it up.
Oh my.
Just by spinning the ball round on the string,
Mhm.
directions.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
You quite like it.
Very like, yeah, very woven feel to that one.
I do quite like it.
Yeah.
Mm. Might get some more newsprint out, I think. Uh,
Woo.
Alright. I do quite like newsprint as well. I got it from Wilco's, this one that I'm using. Yeah,
Wilco's.
Wilco's, yeah. I think it was about £1, £1.50. So
Oh.
again, not too bad for the amount that you get.
Mhm. I don't know that I know Wilco's. Is that an art store or?
It's like they sell everything, honestly, like stationery, bath things, kitchen appliances. So it's
Right,
like
okay. Like a B&M store?
B&M kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. Oh wow! I'm just
You
gonna
liking that?
I'm gonna stop there just to show you. Look at the mix of those two colours.
Oh, the colors. That is fantastic.
That's working quite well.
So is that two different balls or two different colors on the ball?
Two different colours on the ball. And then I've got
Right.
another one with my oranges and yellows on. Right.
How do you get the string on your ball?
And this one was actually bought like this.
Ah, right. So it's like a pet toy or something.
Yeah. I imagine though you can just. It looks like there's something that's been sewn onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it like that. It's there's a piece of
Yeah,
fabric
yeah,
sewn,
yeah.
and then it's been the elastic kind of cord has been then threaded through. That's what it looks like. So I imagine just make one if you've got any spare tennis balls at home. With this technique as well, it's quite easy to generate lots of different works, in a fairly short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. We're going to create the tracker thing that I made before. Well, what have I done with all my lids? Oh, there they are.
All right, and then here is my just purely green and blue. Um,
Lovely.
Doing on newsprint.
Mm-hmm. So I'm using the bottle tops that I used before,
Okay.
and I put holes through them and used them to make kind of track effects.
Ooh.
But it's not having the same effect in ink as it did in acrylics, which obviously it's not going to, because inks are a fundamentally different texture. In fact, yeah, it's not. Yeah. Wait a minute, I just keep at it a little bit longer. It's starting to pull through now. The ink just isn't quite catching it enough. Maybe if I do it by hand rather than. No, it just doesn't pull him through in the same fashion. Never can tell. Right, I'm gonna then try the golf ball. There's my little gizmo. There you are, way over there. I was walking down in Almouth last week and I found a golf ball on a golf course. So I went, oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. I like the noises some of the implements make as well.
No, I think the noise without seeing kind of what the action is quite interesting as well.
Yeah, it could be one of those on a quiz show. What tool is the artist using? Here's the end product and here's the sound. What tool was used? The golf ball has been very good. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Keep going.
Right, what material shall I use next? I quite like the newsprint actually, and the brown paper.
You like this? You like the size of that, don't you?
I do like the size of that, definitely.
So is lockdown easing where you are, Holly?
It is, yes. I mean, they did put like a hold on all restrictions being lifted because it was meant to be the 21st of June. So
Course, yeah.
it should have been on Tuesday, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think now it's something like the 16th or 17th of July.
Oh, really?
Apparently they're confident that it will go ahead then. But I've actually had my first COVID jab as well.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Last Friday. So I've had the first one.
So when do you get the second one? Do they get in contact with you or do you just make another appointment?
Well, they've given me a slip on how to book next. So I think it's after 12 weeks that I can then book another one.
All right, okay. I thought you were supposed to have it within 12 weeks.
Oh yes, that could be actually, yeah, definitely, yeah. So,
yeah.
Oh, I don't know then. I thought I had to wait 12 weeks until I could have it.
I think you should check that because we certainly the idea was initially that you would get them as close to get as soon as possible, but then because of it wasn't possible to kind of get everybody done in the time scale, they were like, well, as long as you have it within 12 weeks, it'll be all right.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll definitely check that.
Which one did you get?
Pfizer.
Yeah, I got the AstraZeneca.
Have you had both of yours then now?
Yeah, I've had both of mine done. Had both of mine done. But it's still, yeah, I mean, the numbers say one thing, but for the longest time, Holly, I never knew anybody who had coronavirus. But in the last few weeks, I have known now of half a dozen people that have had it, maybe even more, who have got it, who've got it now. So it seems bizarre that, you know, for the longest time when we were in deep lockdown, nobody was getting it. But now, as I say, I know a good half dozen people who have it. And it's all young people, it's all people that are at school.
Yeah.
So it's obviously our schools are sharing it very well. And I've got a few friends who are teachers. I spoke with Mike yesterday actually, and I never asked him, but they feel quite let down that they weren't kind of weren't vaccinated ahead of the game. So they must be feeling pretty vulnerable. Oh, come on, you can do it. What's going on there? Oh, some horrible thing just came out of my...
I've just mixed now 5 colours together, doing the same technique. I'll just hold it up.
Oh, let me see again. Ha, you've got a little bit of pink in there. The brown background's nice as well. Like it makes, you know, brings the colours out differently.
Yeah, definitely. Right. What I might do is do some bubble wrapping, I think. I'll do some bubble wrap on that new print. So do you think you'll carry on with this then after these workshops, the mark making?
Definitely. Definitely.
That's good to hear.
It's the best fun I've had with art work ever. And it also really gosh, what's the word? It really influences everything else that I try and do now. Yeah, it's definitely the stuff that I'm enjoying doing the most. I was at an art workshop on Monday night. My friend Sheila Chapman is an artist and does art workshops for people, and I mean, I had a great time. I never sit down and play with art things and don't have a good time. It's a pleasure always. But in terms of the process, because she's pushing me in, not pushing, because I'm trying to find it. I've got I had it in my hands just before we came on. So we had she gave us things to draw and techniques to paint with, and do still lifes. Hang on just a minute, I'm going to see if I can find it. So it was here just a few minutes ago. What did I do with it? How bizarre. Oh, yeah. So yeah, where's the other one now? Bigger one. Anyway, this will illustrate it. So she's asking us to do kind of still lives, and it's really not anything that I'm very good at all. And I enjoy the process of giving it a bash, but at the end of the day, I'm always much more pleased with the results that come up for me in your workshops. And they always feel, oh, my son's dripping. Oh well, that's the way it's supposed to be then, eh? See, that's the way it's supposed to be then. So yeah, I'll definitely keep using the techniques and the inspiration from the workshops.
No, you'll have to send me some updates on the artwork that you're doing as well. I'd love to see it.
I will do.
Yeah. There we are. Again,
And
some bubble wrap.
oh, I love that. What's on the back of your bubble wrap though?
What do you mean?
Is your bubble wrap on something? It's not just bubble wrap.
Newsprint, sorry.
Ah, right, okay.
Printer of the bubble wrap onto the newsprint.
Ah, it's a print of the bubble wrap. You're not holding up a sheet of bubble wrap. Right, gotcha.
Quite like the
that
colour.
Makes more sense. I love that. Oh, I love the kind of slightly muted shades that you've got there. And I like the gaps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one.
I cut it up a little bit. You know how I did before when I made one piece and then I think it was this one here, and then I put it into 4. Ooh, I wonder if I should try that or should I leave it whole?
It's quite nice, that one. I mean, I'm not saying that you would cut up not nice ones, but there is a wholeness to that. I think you would lose some of the formation.
Yeah. No, I might leave that one whole, I think.
Do another one.
I do quite like that one.
Right, I'm going to put the inks away. I've had enough of the inks.
Had enough with them.
Yeah. Get my acrylics out. What I've done with my envelopes. This piece of paper almost cardboard has come out of the chocolate box I was using earlier on, and I'm going to use this to make the next piece a black background. I'm going to use really bold colours on it. I'll use the side that's got a bit of chocolate on it or not.
Ooh,
No, I'll use the other side.
I quite like that though. I do quite like that. Which side are you using, Fiona?
I'm gonna, this side is, I don't think you see it, this side's got a little bit of spilled chocolate on it. I'm gonna use the other side. Give myself a blank canvas.
Right. What do you think of this one then?
Lines and the circles.
Just using this little pastry cutter.
Ah, right, okay.
Now,
With the
colours.
lines from the edge.
Can you see the colours as well on there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of overlapping colours. Yeah.
I quite like that one,
Huh?
Let's see what this is going to do. Well, that's quite interesting, actually.
Yes.
I've folded it.
Yes.
Quite like that.
It's not symmetrical as such, more, yeah.
I might try a similar one again, actually, on this envelope that I've been using. All right.
Okay, that's a starter for 10. Now I'm going to make lots of circles. Into the circles. going camping this weekend.
Ooh, where?
Going up to Loch Ness.
Oh, very nice.
I'm just outside Inverness. Yes, looking forward very much to a nice quiet weekend with. We're meeting up with my sister-in-law and her husband, and they've got 2 dogs. So it'll be just a nice weekend of walking and eating.
That sounds good. That does sound nice. Is it just for the weekend that you're going?
Yeah, we're traveling up tomorrow, so we're staying overnight Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's three nights. It's actually, we've got a new tent, so it's the first time that we've put this tent up. Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is, yes, it is, and it's actually really different from what we usually have. Like all the tents that we've had have been like a crossover,
Yeah.
and this one is actually like a tunnel. It's like a semicircular type thing, so it's a real departure for us. We've kept our old tent for music festivals, and we've decided that this one's going to be our grown-up tent for actual proper camping, because the other one's a bit tatty. I've got 2 lime greens here, which on the palette look like quite different, but actually once I've put them on the black paper, look almost the same. They're not diverse enough at all to be offering each other a compliment of any sort. Let's try a different circle. That's making no difference at all. Nope, can't see the difference between the 2. That's annoying. Okay, I shall then, I don't know if I want, oh, I know what, I'll add some yellow. I've got a very vibrant pink that I'm going to pop into the fray as well. Let's see.
Well, I'm on with the black at the moment.
You don't use black very often.
I'm using black as my first shade to add on. I don't know if I should add colour after this, but going with the black. What I think I need to do is buy another whisk as well. So I've got 2
different whisks, yes. Do you ever get halfway through a piece and go, oh, I don't like this?
Yeah. Yes, I do. For me, it's when a lot of the colours kind of blend into one, or
Yeah.
it kind of creates a new colour that I don't necessarily like. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen often, but you know, when it does, I will keep the piece, but it's not. I won't say it would be my best work then. But I just keep it as development. Does that happen to you a lot then, or not as much?
Sometimes I'm able to work through it, but like for a wee moment there, I was just like, oh, this isn't working in quite the way I expected it to. And then I thought, well, let's just work through it and see what happens. And like you say, in terms of development, I can then kind of look back and go, right, you were right not to like that piece, or you were right to kind of keep going with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's quite interesting when you use, I think I've mentioned this quite a bit as well, you know, when use different objects, and then they don't make a mark that you're expecting them to make. I think that's quite interesting as well. You know, when you use different implements that don't make the marks that you expect, or say if the material's covered, what happens if you don't cover the full surface with paint? You know. What can I add now? I think I might add a blue actually. I'm gonna visit the tennis ball again and see what I can do with that, I think. Oh, I know what I might do actually. I might do some more layers of colour over the black, using some paint brushes to flick the paint instead. I might do that actually. Yeah.
So when's your exhibition going to be in the Henry Moore?
It's going to be in the summer, but at the moment we haven't been given a date, which is a bit annoying. But hopefully in the summer, they're saying.
As in this summer or next summer?
This summer.
This summer.
Ooh. Yeah, so it's exciting. I mean, they've asked us to submit into one file so the tutors can kind of go back and forth with the gallery and keep showing work and making alterations, but they've asked us to put it in kind of one file, so a piece of writing and then the works. And I have a mix of photography and video as like documentation of the work, because it's a shame that we can't show physical works, you know, due to COVID. Because otherwise I would be very much showing physical works that I've created.
So why not? Because galleries up here are reopening.
Honestly, I don't know, because I have asked quite a few times. And they've said it's either too short notice, or they've said we can't because of COVID. So yeah.
But the gallery itself is open. Like, are they?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Last week before I finished from uni, when I was in the studio 2 weeks back to back, I could go and have a look at the sculpture exhibition at the Henry Moore, and it was really good. A lot of physical works in there. For us though, we're displaying it on big like projection screens in the gallery, and they've got some TV screens as well, which is quite good. But I would have liked to show the physical works, but
absolutely,
you know. What do you think of this then?
Oh, very spacey.
Hold it properly. There we are. I do quite like it. So I started off with the black on the whisk, and then gone for different colours using the paintbrush. As you can see as well, because I've used a whisk, there's like different specks of black, and then the colour seems very blocky because I just kind of scooped it up with a paintbrush and just kind of splattered it on.
Splashed it on, yeah.
You get a different kind of approach to applying the paint, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's a real sense of motion and speed in that one, yeah.
Yes, there's a mix of kind of throwing it vertically, then kind of throwing it on an angle as well. So yeah, very abstract and very, very fast, I would say, in terms of the gesture.
Yeah, very, very speedy.
Very speedy.
Pretty.
Right, I might try another one of those actually.
You should have left the light.
Right, so this time I've gone for more of a landscape approach, the way I've kind of cut the newsprint. So I'm going to see if I can make another space-themed abstract piece, I think.
Mhm.
I quite like the mix of, you know, oranges and yellows and then the black. So I might do one with black paint and then the yellows, the warmer colours, and then one with a cooler colour. So different set. I like how as well colour gives you different ideas about the work.
It gives it a different feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Right. Right, I'm actually gonna scrunch the piece up and then open it out again. I quite like the different lines that kind of appear on the surface when you do that as well.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start creating on it, I think. There we are. Right, I'm gonna get the whisk again.
So you're going to create a space landscape.
A space landscape, yes.
In portrait.
In portrait. In landscape. In landscape.
In landscape, yes.
Then using my whisk for the black. It's very directional as well, you know, the way that I'm focusing the whisk on the work as well. Yeah, very directional. So it's quite good as well because you can kind of aim it in a certain area, but then it could go somewhere totally different, which is interesting. There we are. So I've got some lines and some specks there.
Your starter.
There we are. There we are. Just try not to get it on the computer. There we are. There we are. So something like that. I don't normally use black either, do I? So
no, honestly, I don't know that I've ever seen you using black. I'm stunning.
The only time I've used black, I think, in these workshops has been when I've made a monochrome piece and I've done like a black and white on the brown paper, but I don't really use it. As you can see behind me, it's normally different colours and then maybe white or something else. It's never black. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting as well because black is quite a bold shade as well. So that's interesting that I haven't used it for anything. I think it's just hard when you use black to make sure that the colours don't mix, or you've got to be very careful in what you're using it for.
It can muddy things very quickly, can't it?
Definitely, yeah. I think that's a good example of either loving or hating the work when you're making it. If you use black, yeah, you're very good for that. I always find as well when I'm using the shade black, I'm always focusing very much on what the work looks like and exactly what colour or what implement I'm using. I'm very cautious of that. As soon as black goes on the work, you know, I'm very alert. which is interesting, I think, you know, because obviously I always say that it's not about what it looks like and about the colours, it's about the process and new materials, but at the same time, although the experience and the activity and the process of making is important, I do think there is a slight element of what the work looks like at the end. You know, some works are very appealing to look at, you know, because of either the colours or the pattern, and some just aren't. I think you know what I mean as well, don't you? When you look at a work and then
you just go, no, that one isn't, that's not good for me. Yes. Black obviously offers you some kind of permanence that isn't, you know, your work is like very fluid and in the moment, and whereas black for you obviously is too permanent a color.
Yeah, definitely. What I've done as well is I've actually got all of my paintbrushes. I bought a little plastic container, so I've got all of my paintbrushes and sponges kind of in here. So I've got my selection out today.
The big guns.
The big guns. I'll use this one. Yeah, these workshops have definitely gone very quickly. You know, every Wednesday from like the end of February onwards. You know, they only started out really as an experiment for my interim show, and then kind of developed from there, which is interesting as well. You know, what started out as being an experiment or like a one-off work has developed and spiraled into, I think now 18 or 19 workshops. I think
Wow, as many as that.
So yeah, definitely, it's been really good. I've enjoyed it. You know, what out to be a single work has developed into a series and really has informed like my ideas and my practice as well.
Good one.
Good. You know, I had my,
which is good at a time when that kind of, you know, being able to develop inspiration has been quite difficult, I suppose, for some artists.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had a lot of people on my course saying that they've found it hard to either motivate themselves or found it hard to, you know, get inspiration because, you know, they've been kind of confined to one area, you know, limited social interaction, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, because I've had these weekly sessions, it's forced me to at least make practical work on at least one day of the week, you know.
One day of the week. There's a couple of hours where you're actually sitting down and doing.
Yeah. And from that as well, you've got the conversation and the ideas. Yeah, you've definitely given me a lot of good ideas, so thank you for that.
Oh, I think I've just been reflecting your ideas back at you, so but, no, thank you. Nice to hear. Oh, I'm really pleased. Actually, here is a good example of me not liking something and just carrying on and then going, actually, no, I like this one. Here's a perfect example of it. So I've used all round things on this, bottle tops and of various different sizes, 2 different sizes, green, 2 greens, a yellow, a pink, and some white on the black.
Oh wow, I love that. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Well, maybe there's not enough down there. Maybe just some still.
Is that the black chocolate kind of protector from the tray?
Yeah, so there's a bit of chocolate on the back there. Oh, that's good.
Okay, that looks really good.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
Wow.
It's quite a sturdy piece. If I was making a bigger sculpture, that could be part of a sculpture. It's got quite a bit of form to it.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Material's very lightweight as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Right. Take a photo of that. I'm done with my phone.
Now, this piece here is a very good example of layering. So what I'm doing is I've added my black, I'll hold it up. So far.
Mm-hmm.
I've added my black, and then I've used the paintbrush to then add red, pink, orange, and yellow. Very blocky, very kind of gloopy as well, the paint. So there's a lot of what I would say puddles of paint.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've actually added more black on top of that.
All right.
I'm in a dilemma. Shall I go for the blue and the green, or shall I keep it as two separate pieces? I'm gonna let you
Two
decide.
separate pieces. Two separate pieces.
Two separate pieces. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I do like that. I might add
Yeah.
some more black at the top, but yeah, I think two separate pieces is a good call.
Yeah.
I always like to ask, people's opinion on my work as well. I tend to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think it's quite good though to get two kind of different ideas, and I think by talking, having a conversation about your work or what you're thinking of, it kind of helps you develop further, because obviously different people have got different perspectives and different ways of looking at it as well, which is interesting. I
And
think.
like you say, everybody looks at art and sees something different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, I'm going to. Yeah, everybody sees something different. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I've got these paints here and I feel like I'm going to use them up.
Right, I'm just gonna move my very messy abstract work onto the floor.
It's a gloopy one, that, isn't it?
It's definitely. I think today I've actually used a lot more like actiony kind of implements, and by that I mean a lot of speed has gone into the work in terms of either flinging the tennis ball around on string or throwing the paint, using the paintbrush and the whisk and everything. So I think a lot of speed has gone into these works.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually more so than any other workshop that I've done, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, you've been sort of, yeah. Although you've always got something, you've always got so many ideas on the go at the same time.
I think from that as well, it's just kind of working out where you take them, what you do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm doing the same effect again and just crunching the paper up.
Mm-hmm. Here you've got your hills.
I was just getting some paint off my trousers. Look at
Oh,
the watermark. I'll show you. Just like
oh. What colour got you?
black.
Black. Black. Oh no, it's gone downhill. This will be the reason that you don't use black.
Right, this piece I think I'm making is going to be the black and then the more blue and green kind of piece, I think. So we've got an ocean themed one and a space themed one, I think.
Yes, there's a lot of black in an ocean.
A lot of black. This is
I do
actually,
like acrylics.
oh yes, definitely. Now this is quite a good way to actually get rid of lots of paints that are in my palette, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
This is a very good way to do that. I'm looking forward to seeing photos of your sculpture as well after the workshop. I'll be having a look.
Mhm.
I'm debating as well what to have for my lunch.
Ah,
What to have.
so I've done another chocolate box one. I've actually used the paper, you know, the paper that wraps round the chocolate, and I've put it on the base of the box.
Oh,
Oops. Oh, it's fallen out. Also was meant to be hold it in a bit more. So that's very similar to the last one, but with only without any pink in that one, I don't think. Put like that too.
right,
I'm just going to, oh, I'll wait until you show me that.
show you this one.
Oh, wow.
There we are.
Wow, wow, wow. I just love that. That is incredible. I like the different shades of blues and greens, lilacs, and the texture of it is really punching out there. Like the different depths of the paper. It looks very three-dimensional.
There
Yeah.
we are.
Right, I'm going to wash my hands. I've got into a bit of a guzzle. So when I've come back into the room and I'm looking at the pieces that I've done so far, the one that I started with and I felt was finished doesn't look very finished anymore. So I'm going to pick it back up and go back to it. So it was the one that had the acrylic background, the blue background. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're like sunsets.
Yeah. Again, just using the brown paper as well.
Yeah, and a print from one to another.
One to another, yeah.
And they're so similar and they're so different. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love the way that the one in your right hand is kind of like looser, and the one in your left hand is like got you know, sort of more bold in terms of the not bold in terms of the colors, but there's more of it, if you see what I mean. Yeah. I love the way that they've created that kind of lilac-y color between the blue and the red as well. Oh, lovely. I love the wee tink of red in the green as well at the bottom. Yeah, it's just a wee chink of red there. It's beautiful. Very serendipitous.
Right. I'm not too sure what to work on now. Let me have a think.
Not got long to go, you know.
Half an hour.
Well, I suppose the rate that you work at, yes, that's quite a lot. Right, this is better.
Yeah, after this session, we'll definitely have to do, I don't know, a Zoom or a Teams call or something sometime.
Yeah, we could catch up every few weeks. You can let me know what you're doing. I'll miss your chat and I'll miss your inspiration. I will miss your inspiration. You were saying, will I keep doing this? And yes, I will, but yeah, I've really enjoyed the inspiration and the permission as well. Sometimes, you know, just to get bigger and get bolder and widen my color palette somewhat, which, as you well know, I mean, I've always leaned to the colder colors, but you've really kind of enabled me to embrace the warmer colors.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's really great to hear as well, actually. I'm glad that it's managed to help you in some way, definitely.
So I think I joined the classes, I don't know, end of February, perhaps. I don't know whether,
yes.
I don't think I was in the first few classes. I'm not sure, but I don't know if I've told you this, but at that point, I found like in terms of lockdown and, you know, sort of mental health, I've been very lucky. I know that it has really been quite harmful for lots of people. But I was kind of fairly robust throughout it. But at Christmas time, at December time, I had a bit of a mental block because I kind of realized at that point just how long things were going to take to get back together. I'd been running with a notion that if we just made it to Christmas, it would be all right. You know, after that, it would be fine. And then clearly at Christmas time, it wasn't all right. And January was quite a dark month for me. I mean, January's always a rubbish old month, but it was kind of quite dark in that I was like, it's never going to finish. Nothing's ever going to come back. But joining this class and another couple of classes, but this one genuinely in particular really kind of gave me motivation and yeah, now that kind of sitting down and doing something pleasurable and fun, and the chat as well, Holly, has, you know, that the notion of doing something together with somebody else is really, really fundamentally important. So that's been an absolute thrill.
Well, that's really great to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
And thank you for persevering with them, because you could easily have said, Fiona, it's just you. I'm just not going to, you know, it's a lot of work on a Wednesday, and
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. No, definitely. I mean, we've had what, I think 18 now, 18 workshops. This,
wow.
this one might be the 19th one. I'll have to check, but yeah, a lot of work. You know, I've definitely built a big collection of different things that I've made each week. You know, I've got them some down here in folders, some in smaller kind of sketchbooks or whatever. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely a catalogue, like an archive of stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
both film and both physical works, which is interesting.
What are you going to do with the film? Do you relook at the film? Are you gathering the film? Do you film me, or do you film you?
I record the workshops and then I'll rewatch them and whatever. But mainly for the conversation, if anything, you know, mainly for the ideas that are kind of talked about and discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you kind of develop your ideas as you're chatting as well, don't you? You can, yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does help. It does help me for sure. Yeah.
Right, I've got this piece which I went back to, and I'm a bit happier with it now. It looks more or less the same on the screen there, but it looks quite different in person. I think I wasn't happy with that undercoat of yellow. I think it still needs a bit of brushwork. I think it still needs something else. White, maybe? I think maybe white. Let's see.
What I might do is just have a little quick tidy away because I've got a lot of paints. Look at the state of my palettes.
Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, for goodness sake.
So I'm just gonna kind of gather them all up.
I actually might make this my last bit today, Holly.
That's fine.
Because I've reached a sort of end of the paints that I've got out, and it feels like quite a natural conclusion today.
No, I think it's interesting as well, you know, when you kind of do some work and say, for instance, these workshops are 11 till 1, you kind of get to that stage where you've exercised all of the mark making tools around you and you feel that, you know, that is just enough. You know, I think with this, with it being quite physical, you know, I think a certain amount of time is quite good for it, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like some weeks we've gone over the 1 o'clock, and that's felt okay. And then other times, like today, it feels like we're just both reaching the natural finishing point. Oh, and I actually have a real difficulty with endings. I find it difficult to say goodbye to things, or that's that done. So yeah.
Right, I'm just gonna quickly take these into the other room just so I can wash them after the session. Right.
Right, there we go. That's me done.
Let's have a look at the final thing.
Yeah, I kind of put more into this corner piece down here.
Oh,
Kind
I
of
love that. I like
built that up a little bit, and then added some white to that bit in the middle. The green ink in the middle was just too overwhelming, so I needed to break that up a little bit. I'm looking at it upside down. So I'll re-photograph that piece and I'll send that to you. So you'll have loads to look at when you get back to your computer.
I will do.
I'll tell you something else that this workshop has done that no other workshop has done, Holly, is it has left marks of paint all over my phone, all over my iPad, like, which I love. I'm absolutely happy with. But there's like all the different specks around my iPad. The cover for it is covered in little specks of paint, and so just, and none of the other workshops have done that.
Brilliant.
So yes, so listen, is this your final piece?
Well, this is actually the sheet that I was working on the whole time.
That you use. Your background piece. I quite like that. It's very scatological.
I quite like it too.
Oh, nice one.
But no, I think it's quite good, when you make work and then you leave it a bit of time and then you go back and you have a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just all the card that I didn't use, that I can just put under here.
You're very tidy, very clean worker.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining me as well. I've really enjoyed every week coming together and making something.
Mm-hmm.
The excitement of not knowing what you're going to be making and what it's going to look like, and you just kind of in that moment is really, really great.
Yeah, and I also like that notion of bringing things like I say, like my envelopes, which I haven't found, which I will use now separately. Like, all right, I'm going to use those. I'm going to use that on Wednesday. I'm going to use that on Wednesday. So listen, I shall ping you. I shall send you my work from today, and I'll give you a ping in a couple of weeks, and maybe we could catch up for a Zoom.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning is quite a nice time for me at the moment, but if you're free. It doesn't have to be 2 whole hours, but if we wanted to have a chat and do some painting together, that would be nice.
Great, definitely, yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And maybe one of these days I'll be down in Leeds and we can meet in person.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
And if you're ever up in Edinburgh, do give me a shout.
I will.
Okay. Right. Take care.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.